All right, day 3 of spring practice and wind shells today, which means that we have on shoulder pads and no pads inside of our pants. But make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Starting off with Nico to Dante Thornton. It seems like it starts off like that every single time. That right there looked crisp. Okay, that looked clean. I think that the wide receiving core looks really good today. Okay, I don't know who that last person was. It's kind of difficult to tell by some of these angles. But right here, man, we've got Caleb Webb, who's continued to look very impressive. That was a nice catch. It looks like they're working on some, little skinny posts right here. And this is, one of the routes that we run a lot in this offense. It's one of our big play routes. And Gaston Moore right here getting it done. He looks really sharp. Now, I've heard a couple of people kind of asking, hey, will we go out and try to target another quarterback in the transfer portal? I think that we're actually fine where we're at. Okay, I know that Gaston Moore can get it done. There's that man, Chris Brazzell. We talked about him some last night in the video from the Players Lounge. If y'all didn't see that, make sure that you go check it out. We saw a little clip right there of Jake Merklinger. So I'm excited to see really how Jake is going to continue to progress. But right here, okay, what we have is, oh my gosh, Lance Hurd, he's a monster. So right there, he was going up against Jesse Perry, who is a true freshman, but you could just see the size difference is immense. And then that pop, that burst right there at the end, he's going to be an absolute force on the offensive line. This is Coach Abe. This is our tight ends coach. I'd like to see a little bit more out of them, just as far as clips, you know what I mean? Not necessarily what they're doing out there on the field. I just want to see them out here running around some more because that's a very important group. Now, Coach Sims, who's our running backs coach, right here, what we're going to be working on is some blocking. So we see a lot, okay, with the running backs in the pocket, right? You have to go slide over and protect. Right here, we're working on protecting to the right. I'm so happy to see this because if you've been on this channel, then you know I've had an issue with this man right here, Dylan Sampson's blocking, but he looks good doing this, okay? His technique, his fundamentals are really good. You want to stay low, okay? It's all about hand placement. It's all about your footwork. Now, watch the difference here, though, okay? You see with Cam Seldon how he's pushing Hunter Barnes. He's pushing him back. That's the difference in strength. And right here, we've got Khalifa Keith. We didn't get to see what he's doing here, but you would just have to anticipate him being one of our bigger backs. He should be good at this. Now, I love to see this. Coach Sims getting him right, coaching him up. Hey, look, you got to drop that button. You got to get those hands right here to his solar plexus, right to the center of his chest. And you can tell he's coaching with some emphasis. I love it. Now, we're finally getting to see these cornerbacks. Jalen McMurray, who's our transfer from Temple, he looks good. This is just working on, the get-offs from the line of scrimmage, okay? So within that first 5 yards, you can get physical with these wide receivers. And really, this is what makes or breaks routes. You have got to throw off the timing. And, we're doing a good job here, okay? So Jamad McCoy is going to be an absolute beast. But releases is something that you have to work every single day. And I love the fact that we're seeing our cornerbacks coming up and being physical. Christian Conyer, look how long those arms are. That's another player that we can expect, hopefully some from this season. And then Ricky Gibson, the man who he was just going up against in this drill, was Jamad McCoy. And this is a defensive drill. So we're just giving him a look on offense. And, you can go to the left or to the right side. The cornerback just has to do a really good job of kind of reading what you're doing and getting hands on you, throwing off that timing. So right here, we've got Jeremiah T-Lander going through the shoot drill, just kind of working on, a change of directions. We already know, like with linebackers, what you're going to be doing is you may kind of start off going one way, but you have to be able to stay low and work back the other way if there's a cutback or anything like that, or if you misread that hole. So that's pretty much all that this is. And then, we're just throwing something extra in at the end and, working on those hands, throwing that football to them. I love that. I think that you should do something with the football in every single football drill, whether you're on offense, defense, or special teams. It's just a great way to get those ball skills honed in. And, we saw Jalen Smith go earlier and Edwin Spillman. I'm going to tell you something. Jalen Smith looks visibly thicker. He looks a little bit more well put together than he did last season. And now we've got our secondary guys just working on blitzes, right? So you're going to work on the hoop, going around, working on your start coming off of the edge. We will blitz our cornerbacks some. So that is good to see. And then Christian Harrison going through the same drill I think we saw on Monday. It's at back pedal at about 70%. You throttle it down. Then you do a 180 turn and you're going to catch the ball on the other end. You're supposed to be sprinting through that ball. And we look decent on this. Okay, some of the guys' hips, like Edris, his hips looked a little bit stiff. He definitely needs to work on that. That's something that I would say that he would continue to need to definitely try to get better at for sure. Christian Harrison is continuing to struggle to catch the football. That's not a huge deal, but you do want to be better at that. And John Slaughter looks very, very smooth in this drill. So Excited to see what's going to happen between him and Turntown. We talked about that several times. Now, this is Caleb Beasley. We're finally getting to see him. I think that he's going to bring us a lot. He didn't look necessarily great after he caught the ball in that transition, right? But he is going to be a really good athlete. And look at the start from James Pierce. That's high level. That's almost as good as it gets. He still has room to improve, though. That's the crazy thing, is that he's going to continue to get better. But I mean, we already know that he's probably the best player on this entire team. Caleb Herring is a guy that we're definitely expecting a lot from. Can he work himself into that number 2 spot right there behind James Pierce versus Joshua Josephs, this man right here? Okay, they're going to be fighting for that 2 spot. And then obviously once Jordan Ross gets on campus, he's going to be thrown into that mix as well. But this is just a very, very deep team from top to bottom. And I'm proud of the way that we look today. We'll have our thoughts and notes and things like that coming out here shortly. I may have P joining me for that, so stay tuned. And thank y'all as always for tuning into the channel. Please make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. We'll see y'all on the next one. Thanks. Peace.